So, firstly, apologies. My voice is still a bit iffy. Hoping it gets better in the next few days. So yeah, apologies if it does sound a bit croaky here and there, and I take a sip of water occasionally. But yeah, there's been a lot of news in the boxing world recently, especially in the last week and last few days. Firstly, Joseph Parker is in line to face Carlos Takam for the IBF mandatory spot. It's a final eliminator for to become number one contender for the winner of Anthony Joshua and Charles Martin, who fight for the IBF heavyweight title on April the 9th. Yeah, really interesting fight. I mean, Joseph Parker is a top prospect in heavyweight boxing and in the boxing world generally. I mean, he's gone through the necessary tests of a prospect. He's faced a southpaw. He's faced a tall opponent. He's faced a small opponent. He's faced people who have been previously ranked or tough, durable opponents. He's had his chin tested. He's gone late in rounds. So I mean, in that respect, he tops Joshua on that. I'd say his opposition is still slacking. I mean, Jason Bergman is. I know he's a southpaw, but apparently he's the 11th best ranked southpaw on BoxRec. I don't have it in front of me, but Duco events were talking about it quite a while ago. I mean, Jason Bergman is not the sort of opponent you face in your latter on your pro career. I know he's still a prospect, but he should be facing fringe level opponents, maybe a Ustinov or Rudenko or someone like that, Dimitrenko maybe. But Takam is a big step up. Takam for me is a top 10 operator. He just sits maybe 10, 11 for me roughly. He can give him a lot of problems. I mean, it was only the other day that David Hayes said Carlos Takam would give Anthony Joshua a lot of problems. He was a much, much better version of Derek Chisora. So, yeah, Takam can cause a lot of problems. He can, he can come in and disrupt your rhythm and, shorten the range, which he did with Tony Thompson. And yeah, I mean, he can give Parker a lot of problems. I think Kevin Barry has to implement a really solid game plan, and Parker has to stick to it. And yeah, I see Parker winning this fight, but with no ease whatsoever. He will go through tough times and tough periods in the fight, especially if he abandons his boxing. And I know he's not like the best long range boxer. He does slightly better from medium to inside range. So we'll see how that turns out for Joseph Parker and if he can score another knockout. But yeah, top fight and a potential mega fight with Anthony Joshua if Joshua comes through against his test against Charles Martin, which is another good fight as well. So the IBF mandatory for the heavyweight title is slated for January 2017, which the IBF said a week or so after Martin won his belt off Glasgow. And yeah, so that's still a good while. That could happen in the UK, or most likely it would happen because Joshua's a big draw over here. So yeah, good fight, really good fight. Heavyweight boxing looking up. Um, Secondly, Ricky Burns is in for a WBO lightweight title final eliminator. His opponent is Jose Zepeda. I think Zepeda is number two in the WBO rankings, and Ricky Burns is number three. Ricky Burns just come off a win against Josh King over here in the UK, and yeah, I don't really know like where Burns goes from here, to be honest. Burns solid operator, does his job well, but I mean with the lightweights in the country now and the other lightweights internationally, so you have Terry Flanagan and Derry Matthews fighting over here in 2 weeks, I think, 2 to 3 weeks. So they're fighting over here. Uh, they're two domestic guys, and then you have Kevin Mitchell, who's recently retired. Luke Campbell is coming back against Gary Sykes. Andy Crolla has got to face Ismail Barroso, who's a dangerous opponent for him. I think Barroso could win that fight Very much so. I rate Barroso, especially against his performance against Mitchell. I don't think Mitchell was at his best, but there's a air of danger about Barroso. He looks really, really, really good. But you have a load of domestic guys and a lot of solid international operators. I mean, Dejan Zlatkonin, who did beat Burns, is trying to negotiate a fight with Jorge Linares because he's the mandatory challenger, and that's another really good fight as well. I mean, he beat Ivan Redkach on Showtime quite a while ago, and Redkach was undefeated at the time. So yeah, there's some really good fights in the lightweight division, and I know Crawford's moved up and everything, but the division is more solid. Bartholomew is there as well. There's a lot of really really good fighters, and yeah, it's hard to see where Burns goes from here. I don't think he can beat Flanagan. I assume, sorry, Flanagan will win the fight. So against Matthysse. So a tough fight against Zepeda as well. Zepeda is I think he's a southpaw maybe. I'm not sure on that. Don't quote me on that. But he's a big banger. He won his last fight. He's on a comeback trail, and he's high up in the WBO rankings. So we didn't get to see his full skill set due to his shoulder popping out last time against Flanagan. But hopefully we get to see it against Burns. I'll be rooting for Burns, of course. But really, really tough fight. And if Burns loses, it's hard to see where he goes from here. I know he'll probably be making good money if he gets the Zepeda fight. But that's all it is really. We all know he's had well documented financial problems, going bankrupt over the lawsuits and the money issues with Frank Warren. But he's at least he's making some money, which is a good thing. So yeah, that's always a plus point, I guess. You don't want to see fighters struggle like he has recently. Um, Thirdly, Lee Selby has an IBF mandatory against Eric Hunter. Eddie Hearn has said it's likely to be on the Anthony Joshua undercard for April 9th. It would be really good to get Lee Selby over here again. He struggled a bit against Fernando Montiel. I still think he won the fight 116, 112 in my opinion. But Montiel did give him some trouble. Um, Gave him some new things that he might have found it difficult against a bit rangier opponent or a bit taller, a bit stronger opponent. I mean, Montiel was about you know, 5'2", 5'3". Maybe he's tiny. He's not a big guy, and Selby was expected to maybe stop him late or something like that. But did struggle a bit, but he'll as he's coming back in the UK, maybe home comforts will be good for him. Eric Hunter, honestly, I haven't seen much of him. I know he's on a winning trail. He's got 2 losses on his record. Um, IBFs don't have always the best mandatories, but I've never seen him, so I wouldn't know. I can't comment on that. Maybe closer to the time, I will make a video and watch him more extensively. But yeah, it's good for Lee Selby to get this mandatory out of the way. Maybe he'll get a year and 2, 3 voluntaries in. I mean, he'll definitely be keeping an eye, I'd say, on the Frampton Quig winner, sorry, and the potential of one of them to move up. He could face one of them. Leo Santa Cruz unification. Jesus Cuellar is a WBA regular champion. I assume him and Santa Cruz will amalgamate the WBA belt. WBC champion Gary Russell Jr. and obviously you have the WBO champion Vasyl Lomachenko. Lomachenko I think is in a league of his own. I think he beats everyone at 126, and that includes Guillermo Rigondeaux and Frampton and Quigg should they move up, and should Rigo move up as well. I think he also beats the guys at 130 as well, but you do have some cracking fighters at 130. Uchiyama Fortuna is a good fight for the WBA belt, to amalgamate the belt. And you have Muro, who's just lost to Francisco Vargas, and Francisco Vargas might fight Orlando Salido, who's already beat Lomachenko. So yeah, there's some cracking fighters at 130. I do think he can clean up both divisions. He's a superb, amazing fighter. He's a class above the people at 126. I think he beats all the champions in my opinion. So yeah, I that's my opinion on that. Lastly, but yeah, Lee Selby, really really top fighter. I think he can compete with Russell and Leo Santa Cruz. Could also be a big fight they're talking about in the UK with Josh Warrington. So we'll see with that. I think he beats Josh Warrington handily. Really comfortable with these, even if it is in Leeds. But things looking up for Lee Selby after this fight, hopefully. Lastly, Mauricio Herrera, who's been on the short end of the stick in some of his big fights, has has been in talks with the Lucas Matthysse camp over a fight. Top fight between two 140-pound contenders. Um, it's hard to see where they go. I mean, the champions at 140 really strong. Adrian Broner, Victor Postol, who just beat Matthysse in his last fight, and Crawford. I mean, Troyanovsky is the IBF champion. I think he's the most beatable out of the four champions. But um, we have to wait and see. Herrera, he doesn't really do well on the scorecards, and Matthysse has lost multiple world title fights. So it's tough to see where they go. I don't know where they go from here, but it's a good fight for the boxing fans, a good fight for us. Hope it's on HBO, and we get to watch it as fans. And yeah, I really hope they go somewhere. Mauricio Herrera seems like a nice guy. He's been robbed. I mean, he should have lost. Shouldn't have lost the Garcia fight. Should have won that. I had him winning 116, 112, or even if you have it closer, 115, 113. I had him winning though. And Matthysse is a really good, exciting fighter. His fight with Ruslan Provodnikov, one of the fights of the year, fantastic fight. I would love to see a rematch, but he might be on the slide after that fight, the Garcia fight, the Postol fight as well now. So it's hard. I know Crawford is probably rated the best at 140 there and pound for pound star, but there's good fights for all of the contenders and the champions at 140. So yeah, hopefully it goes well for these guys, and yeah, I'm looking forward to see all of these fights in action, all these four fights that I've discussed. If you like the video, please give the thumbs up. Please do comment if you have any sort of news or reviews or rumors, anything that you guys want to talk about. I know Thurman Port has been postponed, so if you do want me to do a video about something like that, then please do leave it in the comment section. I will leave a Twitter handle. I know I've said it before, but I have a personal Twitter handle, so if you guys want to tweet me my personal handle, I can put that down for you. I'm not going to make a separate account, Twitter account just for the channel. I might as well just do it on my main account. But if you guys do want to tweet me, ask for my Twitter account. We'll send it to you. Love to do something you guys want to do. It does get boring if it's just me ranting at a screen, and you guys don't find it interesting. I want to do things that you guys find interesting. I love boxing. You guys love boxing. Let's do something that's interesting, and yeah, hopefully we can do a live stream soon. I know I don't have that many subscribers and whatnot, but hopefully we can do one soon. Get some people on and just have a chat about boxing. As I said, we all love boxing here, so why not? Let's do things that actually interest you guys, not just me. And yeah, anything else? Leave comments. Please subscribe, like as usual, and yeah, we'll speak to you guys soon. And as I said, anything else? Please give me the heads up or whatever. Talk to you guys soon, and yeah, peace.